What's going on? You got the thumbs up. We have a lot to discuss in this live stream, honey. So I hope you're comfortable and you got time, baby, because we're gonna be here for we're gonna be here for a little minute, sugar. There's a lot going on, girl. It feels like every 24-hour period feels like 4 days total. Like there's literally so much happening per hour at this point. It's insane right now. But before we get into this, you guys know what I need you all to do. Please thumbs up the video. It is free 99. It don't cost you nothing. It's your way of helping me, regardless of whether you're going to stay around for the whole thing, whether you're busy, whether you're going to watch it later, whether you're not going to watch it at all. Because you support the Kang, you always have a reason to support the effort, the content, the energy, and just the magnificence of it all, okay? You know, thumbing up is about you and your love for me more than it's about anything else. So please thumbs up the video. This helps with YouTube's algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up YouTube's notification system. So when you are thumbing up the video, you're literally knocking on the digital door of another Conscious crew member and telling them to get their block asses into the damn sanctuary, because the Kang is in fact Kang game. Also, shout out to all the new subbies. I love you guys. Long time teamwork makes the dream work. Welcome to the platform, friendly platform. We do it all here. We allow for opposition. We try to have a free flowing forum over chia, you know, and just be a big old intense family. Okay, so shout out to all of the new Conscious crew members. Also, make sure that you have your notification bell set to all. And last but not least, please share the stream out to wherever it is you have digital community, whether that be your YouTube community wall, your Instagram, your Snapchat, your Facebook, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give a damn where you like the link. Just let them forwards know that we're loud, live, and calling. With no further ado, let's go ahead and push on to Oprah.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, you gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, let me speak to the Conscious crew in the building. What's going on? Gabriella, hey, Crystal, who is enjoying all of the Kamala coverage, baby. Since they're going to have it going on, honey, y'all going to be getting a lot of Joe, Kamala, JD Vance, Trump, and apparently our girl also has announced her VP, I believe. All right, so we be getting into all of that. What's going on, Kiwana? What's going on, Corey? Hey, Rumors in T. What's going on, Carolyn? Hey, Monica. Hey, Ian Gardner. What's going on, Adora? Hey, Coach Leslie. Hey, Cynthia. Hey, it's Nino Pangal. What's going on, IG? Hey, Prisma. What's going on, South by Stevie, who says, hi, Conscious. Thank you, boo. Looking delicious as always. Thank you, babes. What's going on, Michael Day? What's going on? Hey, LT. What's going on, bro? Hey, Miss Mika. What's going on, Whitney? South by Stevie says, girl, Kamala is eating Trump up in the polls, honey. Got him shook. Democracy over dictatorship on period. What's going on, you guys? Hi. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Nakia. Hey, y'all. All right. So we got a lot to get into. I don't even know where to start. Let me start by turning down the boom, motherfucking boom, baby. All right, let's start with that. First thing I want to start with is Project 2025. We're going to work our way all the way back, okay? We're going to get to Kamala's campaign at the end. So we're going to work our way toward that. I want to get into Joy Reid, okay? Courtesy of MSNBC, who's been keeping her foot on Project 2025's neck, honey. She ain't playing, baby. All right? I want to get into a little bit of her commentary. I haven't seen this yet, girl, but I've been hearing head waves. I know she been out here, you know, getting Miss Amber Rose together, girl. Okay, it's, you know, it's going bald head for bald head, baby. I love me some bald head wars, girl. I love me some bald head wars, girl. I don't know why Amber thinks she wanted with Miss Joy, baby. Okay, now you might have whooped Jocelyn's ass, but mind you, baby, Jocelyn lists herself as a white woman. on paper, sugar. Okay, so technically, you wasn't even fighting the sister Amber. Okay, you was fighting Becky with the good bundles, bitch. Okay, I don't know why you think you won it with Miss Joy, baby. Okay, because Miss Joy look like she'll take off her good stiletto, bitch, and beat you right in your good left eye, girl. Leave a whole situation right there, baby. Just a whole emptiness right there on the left side of your face, baby. Okay, you might want to fall back up off of that one. But let's get into what Joy Reid has to say and get into this Project 2025 situation, girl, because the head Project 2025 nigga in charge also has stepped down. We're going to be getting into that too. All right, let me pull up my fair use. You guys, please thumbs up, 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 up. Thumb it up, baby. Break your finger on that thumbs up button, sugar. And share the stream out because we're working, honey. All donation information is in the description box below. Oh, yes, it is. And with no further ado, let's go ahead and get...
Pennsylvania, where early voting begins in September. It is imperative that every American understand what Project 2025 is about and how it would affect every single one of us if it was ever enacted. Tonight is just the first of many nights where we will dig into this dangerous plan. And I really want you to listen, learn, take notes, and share it with everyone you know. And if you look on your screen, you'll notice that QR code where you can find our segments on Project 2025 so you can share them. So let's start with the basics. This is the 922-page MAGA manifesto. We printed the whole thing out, and it's brought to you.
In other words, baby, it's the KKK's Bible.
By one of the most conservative DC think tanks, the Heritage Foundation. This is the culmination of nearly 50 years of work that began during the Reagan administration. Broadly, according to Heritage President Kevin Roberts, this is a Christian nationalist plan to end what he calls the Great Awakening and, quote, rescue our kids, reclaim our culture, revive our economy, and defeat the anti-American left at home and abroad. This manifesto, which they call a book, is a specific roadmap on how to accomplish that by giving a Republican president unprecedented power. They do that by slashing the federal government's footprint, gutting regulations, slashing the money we spend on children, students, the elderly, the environment, education, and reproductive health care. Every single chapter describes in excruciating detail how to reorder our society by dismantling federal agencies and limiting the federal government's ability to help protect you, the American people, from predatory businesses, excessive taxes, poisoned air and water, you name it. Lately, former President Donald Trump and his campaign, fearful of how unpopular Project 2025 is, have claimed they have nothing to do with it.
I don't know what the hell it is. It's Project 25. He's involved in Project, and then they read some of the things, and they are extreme. I mean, they're seriously extreme. But I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it.
Yeah, but that's not the complete picture. Here's Trump promoting the Heritage Foundation and their little project just 2 years ago.
Heritage does such an incredible job, and they're going to lay the groundwork and detail plans for exactly what our movement will do and what your movement will do when the American people give us a colossal mandate to save America. And that's coming. That's coming.
Here's the other truth. Roughly 140 individuals who worked in Trump's administration are affiliated with Project 2025, including 6 former cabinet secretaries and 4 people who were nominated as ambassadors by Trump. The others were either key figures from his first transition, close Oval Office allies, or mid-level agency officials. There's Russell Vought, Trump's former Office of Management and Budget Director, who wrote Chapter 2 in the section titled Taking the Reins of Federal Government. In this chapter, he lays out how to consolidate power around a president's political vision. He explains how you can bypass Congress and only fund projects that ensure consistency with the president's agenda. He is rumored to be Trump's.
Girl, he lying just like he was lying to his wife the night that he was humping and hunching on that old nasty piece of porn star, Stormy Daniels. He was lying the way he was lying during his trial, girl. And found guilty on 34 felony counts. And let me tell you what Trump is doing, because this actually can go right into this clip right here. I want you guys to listen to this.
Immunity to police officers so they can do their job. We're going to give immunity to police so they can do their job. I'm giving.
I want y'all to hear that again.
Federal immunity to police officers so they can do their job. We're going to give immunity to police so they can do their job.
Did you guys hear that? That he's going to give immunity, like we've been saying, like I just said in the previous live stream. Let me pack on my microphone real quick. Let me switch over. This is what Trump is doing, because the bitch think he's slick, but he's so slick that he just dumb. What he's doing, because see, now that MAGA is losing popularity and people are waking up to the bullshit, and they're waking up to the new world order, they're waking up to the lies and the infidelities and the lack of integrity and the broken trust that is Trump and all that comes with him now, which is why everybody is in solidarity right now as it relates to Kamala Harris. Now they can't really be vocal about Project 2025. So now he's trying to distance himself from Project 2025 in language. But what he's still doing is pushing Project 2025 vision. Because remember, in Project 2025, it's listed that they're going to attempt to give state immunity to all police officers. That comes right out of the Mandate for Leadership manifesto. That comes right out of the Project 2025's manifesto, sugar. So what he's going to do is he's still going to peddle Project 2025, but not as the title Project 2025. He's just going to be pulling from verses under the belief that his base and the people he wants to become a part of his base don't understand that the policies that he wants to enact, the things that he wants to put into place, aren't actually coming from out of the Project 2025 mandate when it in fact is. I mean, federal. He want to give federal, not state, baby, federal. Okay? So y'all won't hear him saying Project 2025. But every policy that bitch talks about, everything he wants to do can be found in Project 2025, such as, let me switch over my microphone again, such as
Federal immunity to police officers so they can do their job.
Federal immunity so they can do their jobs. When have officers not ever been allowed to not do their jobs? You want to give them federal immunity so that they can continue to harm and unalive people like Philando Castile and Sandra Bland and Sonia Massey. You know, because y'all here for depopulation anyway. George Floyd. Imagine the things that racists who have now taken on the new uniform of blue and black would do, knowing that they have immunity. Look at what they've already done without it. Look at what Sean Grayson has done. Look at how much of a sausage fest and a fraternity that the Police Task Force of America already is, because as we listened in the last live to the newly surfaced audio of Sean Gracie 2 years ago speaking to one of his superiors about why he was lying and falsifying documents, the superior said, this is my billionth time talking to you about this issue. I'm getting goosebumps. Which tells us that they protect their own. They incubate their own. They have a virtue toward their own who doesn't protect and serve the way that they're supposed to. And God only knows, because Sean Grayson was finally terminated from that department, but he wasn't terminated ultimately from being an officer. Why should he have been allowed to be unintegral at one branch, but able to be employable at another? And then those issues had not been addressed other than it leading to him being terminated. But no psyche eval, no other initiatives were taken as it relates to figuring out what the fuck was going on with him. He was just allowed to just be terminated and then be hired in another district in another county. And if this is once again what the Scorpion Unit, what the Sean Graysons of Illinois are doing, just imagine what the fuck this would look like without any legal protection. Because this is what they do out loud, even while the cameras are rolling. This is what they do in broad daylight, even when the body cam footage is on. Even when half the neighborhood is out to see a neck on George Floyd's neck. And this is what they do with there being protection in place. If Trump's big back orange ass wants to give officers federal protection so that they can do their job, so that they can hunt accordingly, they can butcher accordingly, they can execute accordingly, my black and brown people, y'all ass better be armed and dangerous, baby. Because you know who else gets protected alongside officers? The Karens and the Clippards that also are going to want to act a fucking fool as it relates to black and brown people in their communities, in their neighborhoods. And then they want to call police to the scene after they done some heinous shit. So that those KKK officers and those KKK civilians can stand in solidarity. The way that Sean Grayson was going to have his partner do so by saying, hey, remember, she's a crazy bitch who tried to douse me with boiling water, right? Oh, baby, we thought we saw white America up in flames, bitch. Oh, no. Imagine when white America knows. They can call, the Ambers can call police to the park to deal with the difficult black man. And by difficult, minding his fucking business. Imagine what just these type of low vibrational white folk are going to be emboldened to do while knowing that they're going to have a police state that can help to conceal and cover up the crimes that they've consistently been committing against black and brown people. Oh my God, baby, you ain't seen police racism yet. You ain't seen Karen foolishness yet, baby. You ain't seen a shit show until that shit right there is granted. All of y'all who think that this shit gonna be a game, baby, I don't think y'all are really thinking this through. I think y'all only sitting at the surface of it. You don't understand just how fucked up times 20 this is about to be. This is going to be the shit. That administration, that mandate, the policies that the book he claims he knows nothing about, but yet he's citing verbatim policies out of, word by word. That's That's going to be the shit that's going to turn this country upside down. That's the shit that's going to arouse entirely a utter civil war. That's the shit that's going to have America looking like a third world country. And none of us will be safe. Our children won't be safe. I like to remind you all, remember what it was like to live under Trump's administration. Remember when Black kids couldn't even so much as knock on a neighbor's door to use a phone. God forbid it be a white neighbor without them being shot at. Remember, Black and brown kids couldn't even accidentally pull up to the wrong house without Karen or Clifford shooting them through the screen door. Remember, Black and brown parents couldn't even confront Karen from coming to the park and putting their hands on their kids and talking out of order to their kids without that Black and brown parent getting fatally shot the moment that that parent pulls up into that yard for a friendly conversation about the out of order shit you just did to my kid. Oh yeah, remember there was story after story after story, and Trump was emboldening the Proud Boys. You know, it was good people on both sides. This man groomed his base for several months prior to the insurrection and then whistleblowed to them so that they can commit to political violence while he's wanting everybody on the left to condemn the political violence that he was afflicted with when another member of his tribe and team from the right, Thomas Matthew Crooks, tried to peel his motherfucking wig cap completely back, baby. Thomas Matthew Crooks wanted to show us what underneath that wig looked like. Trump is clever in terms of he knows how to curve his language. Oh, well, yeah, technically I didn't tell them to go run up in the Capitol. No, you didn't. You said go peacefully protest. But that's after you spent several months telling them that they should fight, that this election was going to be rigged if you didn't win, that you were being set up, and you put them into such a fear-mongering state. You made them feel in such a way that their version of democracy was being ripped from them, that by the time you didn't win the election, the results that came in, all you had to tell their asses was, go let them people know how y'all feel, respectfully, knowing damn well them people at this point had been psychologically conditioned to not hear nothing about the word respect. Because how could they, right? You led an entire campaign calling African countries shitholes. And even if the particular African countries that you call shitholes are in fact shitholes, it wasn't your place as a privileged, big back white man to dare put your fucking mouth on an African country in that way. Of course, your base knew nothing about going to the Capitol and confronting the powers that be respectfully, because you had spent your 4 years mocking the handicapped, saying abusive things about women, making fun of Black journalists who now, for whatever reason, are going to allow you to sit in front of them on their platform for a Q&A session. So your ignorant ass base, the same base that set itself on fire outside of a trial, the same base that gave up their life and their liberty Respect where? They understood the call, while you get away with it ultimately because technically you told them to do it respectfully. After conditioning them for 4 years straight to be the most disrespectful political party that anybody could ever see. These Proud Boys marched to the streets to intimidate minority people, to put minority people in their place. And you couldn't even condemn their actions, even though they had caches of weapons all around Charlotte, all around North Carolina. And you couldn't even condemn them and call them out for their inappropriateness, for their social and emotional violence. So after leading and being that type of a leader and demonstrating yourself and behaving that way as a leader, you thought you actually had a respectful base? You know you didn't. And you knew exactly what you were telling them to do on the day they ran up in them people's shit and smeared feces across the Capitol walls. Climbed up the chimneys as if they were Spider-Man in a damn Marvel multiverse of madness. You spoke in code, and your disciples understood your parable accordingly. So Donald Trump, y'all just heard it. He's trying to distance himself from using terminology like Project 2025, mandate for leadership. Instead, he's just going to cite independent policies and verses out of the mandate. Because he knows that and believes that America didn't do the work to read it. He knows that his dumbass base didn't bother to read it. They just want a performer. They just want some shit to be a part of. They don't really give a fuck about anything, in fact. So he's expecting everybody to not know his talking points are coming straight out of the mandate that he's claiming he doesn't know shit about, while forgetting that everybody in his cabin currently are literally all over social media and in news interviews excited about Project 2025. Like Trump he's not even a good liar. Even in the debate, he persuaded dumbass America that he won a debate. When once they fact-checked the debate, Trump lied 50 times to the 9 lies that Biden told. 50 to 9 was the ratio. 50 lies to 9 lies. And this same dumbassness, this same expectation that Americans are not educated and they fall for the surface shit and they fall for the hoodwink, the bamboozleness is what he's expecting now. And not using the term Project. Oh, I don't know what the fuck Project 2025 is. The same way you didn't know where your dick was the night that it was in Stormy Daniels. We know. The same way that your daughter who grew up sitting on your lap didn't know that you was in your mind fantasizing about how you would actually date her had you not reproduced her. But we know what the real tea is. You would have been dating her the way that you allegedly was essaying that 13-year-old who's suing your ass for what you and Jeffrey Epstein put her through, if it wasn't for something called the law existing. Her being your daughter is hardly where the buck ends for you. If you could actually be with her without it infringing upon the law, she would be yours. The way that 13-year-old you took and made yours. And this is what his base, this is what MAGA supports. He is an immature, incompetent weirdo, and he's attracted a base that are just as sick and low vibrational as him. He's attracted a clan of people who don't believe in having respect for their fellow man, who want the right to be hurtful and injurious and degrading and dehumanizing without retribution. That's why he knows he can use the word respect to his base, knowing that they're going to do the complete opposite. Because he knows that they're just like him. Can't be stopped. Can't sit still. Have no impulse control. And are just vile and entitled and vain and absurd. Just like him. But let's get back to Joyce, because we got quite a ways to go. But I want y'all to hear this one more time.
We're going to give immunity to police so they can do their job. I'm giving federal immunity to police officers so they can do their job.
A Project 2025 verse, baby. Back to Joy.
For chief of staff. And according to Politico, he and Trump speak once a month. Vaught hopes his close relationship with Trump will elevate Christian nationalism as a focal point of a second Trump administration. Then there's Roger Severino, a former Trump administration DOJ official, who wrote Chapter 14 about the Department of Health and Human Services and how to restrict abortion access across the country. Severino is a dogmatic anti-abortion militant who strongly believes that an America that allows abortion cannot survive.
We're coming up on a major fundraising deadline, and there aren't many more between now and the election. So I am asking you to pitch in right now to help us meet.
I'm going to let Kamala's commercial play.
Our goal. There is too much at stake, so let's not fall short on our resources. We are working hard to reach voters across the country, but I need you on board to help us win in November. And I'm counting on you to rush a donation. Even $5 will go a very long way. So thank you, and please take care.
On period.
The federal government has an absolute role in this. There cannot be now two Americas. One America where unborn life is protected and another where unborn life is treated as the equivalent of medical waste. Yeah. Right. That is untenable. This has to be settled nationally. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Yeah. We can't have two classes of Americans.
In Project 2025, he advocates for using the regulatory powers of the Department of Health and Human Services, the Food and Drug Administration, and the Department of Justice and the National Institutes of Health to end access to mifepristone, prohibit stem cell research, and create, quote, pro-life task force in the White House.
Wow.
There's also Richard Hanania, who helped contribute to Project 2025. Now, he's not a recognizable name, but he's a popular conservative activist with fans like J.D. Vance, Peter Thiel, and Elon Musk, who just so happens to be a noted racist and sexist. The Huffington Post reported that Hanania used a fake pen name to write articles and social media posts that expressed support for eugenics and forced sterilization of, quote, low IQ people, whom he argued were most often Black. And he dreamed about a white awakening, which is when whites en masse realize that they are superior to non-whites and that they'd be better off abandoning multiracial democracy for something resembling a whites-only ethno-state. While those guys are cooking up plans for how the government would work and who it would work for, John McEntee, Trump's former body man and former director of his presidential personnel office, is working with Project 2025 to build the enforcement army. He is currently a senior advisor at Project 2025 with the single task of creating a resume database of dedicated MAGA warriors to staff up every agency. Well, the ones that they don't shutter completely, like the Department of Education, on day one. Here's what McEntee wrote when he took the job, quote, "The presidential personnel database will be of extraordinary value for the 47th president because we are doing a lot of the incoming administration's most important work ahead of time," unquote. Then there is Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, a self-described radicalized Republican who is a champion of Kevin Roberts and his plan to turn the Heritage Foundation into the de facto institutional home of Trumpism. Here you see Vance and Roberts together on a panel last year at an event hosted by the Intercollegiate.
But nobody knows what Project 2025 is. No idea. What's that?
Institute, which is a conservative organization for college students. This particular discussion was about regime change and the future of liberalism. Guess what else? Kevin Roberts has a book coming out in September, and J.D. Vance wrote the foreword to that book in which he praises Roberts' vision for America. He also wrote, "We are now all realizing that it's time to circle the wagons and load the muskets. In the fights that lay ahead, these ideas are an essential weapon." Vance's current political ideology lines up pretty succinctly with that of Project 2025, and his backing of Kevin Roberts, along with his frequent appearances on Tucker Carlson's talk show, might explain why he is on the Trump ticket. This clip from his Senate campaign run might also have helped too.
I think that what Trump should do, like if I was giving him one piece of advice, fire every single mid-level bureaucrat, every civil servant in the administrative state, replace them with our people. Yeah, I mean, I think we got to do the hard work of institution building. And again, I've got friends who are working on this very problem right now, such that if there is a Trump administration round 2 or a DeSantis or a Hawley administration, that we actually have the bureaucracy in place so that that person can govern effectively and not be constantly undercut.
Trump, Vance, future staffers, future administration officials, and all of his former employees support parts or all of Project 2025. Do we really think that they would not implement these ideas if given the chance? Up next, I will detail for you explicitly the things they intend to do, from redirecting how we see ourselves socially, how we build our society, how we get by, and most importantly, and the one I worry about the most, how they will completely end how government functions, leaving a less safe, less prosperous, less free country for the majority of Americans.
And I want to make the clear distinction between white people and MAGA. Like, white people have now made a clear distinction that there's white people and then there's MAGA. MAGA are the new Confederate flaggers of today. It's the same ancient powers that are just taking different forms, just modernizing themselves, just fitting themselves into contemporary aesthetic. These are the Confederate flaggers of yesterday, are the MAGAs of today. Okay? Thank you, Joy. Now, let's move over because it's a lot going on with Project 2025, courtesy of CNN.com. Project 2025 director steps down amid backlash from Trump. The director of Project 2025, the conservative blueprint for a potential second Donald Trump term, has stepped down amid intense criticism, including from the former president. Paul Daines, a former top advisor in Trump's administration, steered Project 2025 as it carved a leading role in shaping discourse around what conservatives dreamed that they could accomplish if Republicans won back the White House. While a source with knowledge of the planning said Project 2025 would be effectively ending its policy operations, others familiar with the matter noted that it was always the plan to move on to the next phase now, and efforts to build a conservative personnel apparatus would continue. Project 2025's plan to radically reshape the federal government and American life, spelled out in detail in an exhaustive 900-page playbook, provided ample fodder for Democrats to warn against Trump's return to power. In recent months, Trump has lashed out against Project 2025, calling some of his ideas absolutely and utterly ridiculous and, of course, absurd. He strained to distance himself from the work, claiming that he had no idea who was behind it. And Joy Reid just single-handedly debunked all of that. Top Trump advisor Chris LaCivita recently referred to Project 2025 as a pain in the ass for the Trump campaign. Dan's departure was confirmed in a statement to CNN Tuesday by Dr. Kevin Roberts, the president of the Heritage Foundation, the group that launched Project 2025. In addition to stepping down from Project 2025, Dans is also leaving the Heritage Foundation. Quote, under Paul Dan's leadership, Project 2025 has completed exactly what it was set out to do, bringing together over 110 leading conservative organizations to create a unified conservative vision. Hold on, is my microphone switched? I didn't even switch the microphone. All right, microphone switch. Something told me to look at it. Motivated to develop power from the unelected administrative state and returning it to the people, Roberts said. This tool was built for any future administration to use. LaCivita and Susie Wiles, both Trump campaign managers, said in a statement that the Trump team, quote, has been very clear for over a year that Project 2025 had nothing to do with the campaign, did not speak for the campaign, and should not be associated with the campaign or the president in any way. They continued that reports of Project 2025's demise would be greatly welcome and should serve as notice to anyone or any group trying to misrepresent their influence with President Trump and his campaign. It will not end well for you. A spokesperson for Heritage, though, said that despite Dan's exit, work will continue on the current phase of Project 2025, which is a nationwide search to fill a Trump administration with loyal conservatives. I just love how Trump is being debunked every which way. Their whole team and team adjacents, girl, can't even keep a straight narrative, girl. Like, for every lie one half of MAGA tells, the other half debunks it with the truth. Vice President Kamala Harris' campaign made clear Tuesday that the change of leadership will not stop its efforts to share Project 2025's contents with voters. Harris has made criticizing Project 2025 a centerpiece, as she should, of her early campaign for the presidency, picking up right where President Joe Biden left off. Project 2025, quote, is on the ballot because Donald Trump is on the ballot. Harris campaign manager Julie Chavez Rodriguez said, quote, this is his agenda written by his allies for Donald Trump to inflict on our country. Hiding the 920-page blueprint from the American people doesn't make it less real. In fact, it should make voters more concerned about what else Trump and his allies are in fact hiding. Project 2025 includes many policy priorities that are aligned with those of the former president, especially as they relate to cracking down on immigration and purging the federal bureaucracy by making it clear to dismiss civil servants and career officials. But Project 2025 has lately become a lightning rod for other ideas Trump hasn't explicitly backed. Within the group's seminal work, Mandate for Leadership, are plans to ban pornography, reverse federal approval of the abortion pill, mifepristone, which is a Trump talking point, exclude the morning after pill and men's contraceptives from coverage mandated under the Affordable Care Act, make it harder for transgender adults to transition, and eliminate the federal agency that oversees the National Weather Service. It details plans also runs counter to Trump's push for a streamlined GOP platform, absent any language that Democrats could wield against Republicans this cycle. Still, Trump efforts to keep the organization at arm's length were complicated by his close ties to the people behind it. At least 140 people who worked in the Trump administration had a hand in the project, a CNN review found, including more than half of the people listed as authors, editors, contributors to Mandate for Leadership. Nobody emboldened the shrift from Trump insider to Project 2025 champion more than Dan's. Dan served as the chief of staff at the U.S. Office of Personnel Management during the Trump administration, where he served as a liaison between the agency and the White House. He told a gathering of conservative broadcasters earlier this year in Nashville that he intended to work for Trump again if he win. He also assured Trump supporters that Project 2025 would become a reality if the former president returned to 600 Pennsylvania Avenue. So here it is, Dance himself. Dance his fucking self, literally, is like, girl, this is our agenda. Like, that was supposed to be his role in the Trump administration, is to keep Trump on track with Miss Project 2025, who he assured would become a reality. He told former Trump advisor Steve Bannon's War Room podcast that Project 2025 was going to be a D-Day invasion plan and urged listeners to flood the zone with us. Quote, "We're going to make this happen under President Trump," Dan said, and this is ultimately his direction and his team's direction. But Trump don't know what's going on. Trump has no idea, girl. Yes, messing with the weather services, girl. Hide your kids, hide your husband, hide your wife, girl. We going back to Old Testament shit. We going back to the girl, it's given the Israelites and the Pharaoh, girl. Okay, that's what it's given. But the question is, what's going on? Why is the head of Project 2025, the director, stepping down amid backlash? I think that what's happening is Trump obviously is shook. We already know that. You guys are about to see how shook Trump is, courtesy of audio from his now vice president, his VP, Mr. J.D. Vance, girl, who is shook and admitting that the whole right is shook at Kamala's entrance into the group chat. So I think with Trump being shook, Kamala being unprecedented, she was an unexpected foe, an unexpected opponent, and they're seeing now how, because people are reading Project 2025 and because they've read it, this is creating deep and profound opposition to the support of Trump in the White House, which is propelling Kamala forward, that Trump is going out of his way to wanting the optics to support the illusion that he has no idea what Project 2025 is. It's radical, it's ridiculous, it's absurd. Ironically, just like him. All adjectives that describe him, okay? And once again, I believe, as I've been telling you guys for live stream after live stream after live stream, thank you, Jeanette, that Trump is desperate for the Oval Office. He has to get there, not only because he is a self-adoring narcissist who this is an ideal position for. I mean, what else could you aspire for as a narcissist other than like the highest position in the land? And that is being the principal of the country. But he also needs the immunity because remember, he is a 34-time convicted felon and he would be prosecuted and subjected to prosecution if he does not get presidential immunity. So Trump is going to pull out all the fucking stops. He's going to pander to the Christians, the evangelicals. He's going to say everything he needs to say, girl, wherever he needs to say it at, in order to get these motherfucking votes. And now that he's becoming unpopular and he's trailing behind, he has to go the distance to make it look like he knows nothing about Project 2024 by having Dan, the director of Project 2025, step the fuck down. And once again, this is so easy. Like calling Trump on his shit and seeing through his bullshit is so easy because he forgot these people before Kamala stepped in, before people had read Project 2025, they've already done interviews. They've already spoken about how this is the Trump administration's agenda. This is their blueprint for America. This is what's coming. It's absolute. See, they've already done all of the publicity. So it doesn't really matter how much Trump delusionally tries to distance himself. They've already done the damage. The damage is already done. The cat's already out of the bag. It's already out of the bag, babe. There's no hiding in sight, girl. Like, you running around butt naked through the streets, honey. Draws off. Wig off, Trump. Girl, we see you. We see each other. Which is going to explain Trump's next issue. I want to talk about this. Trump recently sat down with Fox News, who he said is the only platform he would be willing, if at all, to debate Kamala Harris on, where he tried to re-clarify his statements in a previous rally where he told Christians that this would be the last time that they would have to vote, that he would make sure that they do away with it, okay? They would have to never vote again. They're going to straighten out this voting thing. So he sat down with Fox News and did a terrible job at trying to clean that shit up. It only validated what we all know, which is that the right has lost their mind. Kamala got these people literally outside, hanging out of the window, girls, suffering from delusions and anxieties and schizophrenias and all type of wild things in their imaginations, girl. And the more they talk, the more they ruin it. Listen to Trump trying to clear up his statements in this Fox interview.
Of Christians that they won't have to vote in the future.
Yeah, let me say what did I mean by that. Tremendous crowd speaking to Christians or more.
They're also attacking you for other ridiculous reasons. They're saying that you said to a crowd of Christians that they won't have to vote in the future.
Yeah, let me say what did I mean by that. I had a tremendous crowd speaking to Christians or more. I mean, this was a crowd that liked me a lot. I think I'm at 97% or something. And they're treated very badly by this administration, okay? Catholics are treated unbelievably. They're like persecuted. And if I might say, before I go into the other, Jewish people, if you're Jewish and you vote for Biden or the Democrats or Kamala or whoever's going to run, I guess it's going to be her. But if you voted for her or the Democrats, you should have your head examined, because nobody's ever been treated so badly by this. This administration is destroying Israel, et cetera, et cetera. So with respect to like a statement like I made, that statement is very simple. I said, vote for me. You're not going to have to do it ever again. It's true, because we have to get the vote out. Christians are not known as a big voting group. They don't vote. And I'm explaining that to them. You never vote. This time, vote. I'll straighten out the country. You won't have to vote anymore. I won't need your vote. You can go back to
you meant you don't have to vote for you because you have 4 years in office.
Look.
Is that
Christians are known. You know who else doesn't vote? Gun owners don't vote.
But just to be clear, what you're saying, though, you're not saying it's being interpreted as you are not surprised to hear.
No,
by the left as well. They're never going to have another election. He's saying there's not. So can you even just respond to that?
I said Christians. I started off by saying, just so you understand, you never vote. Christians do not vote well. They vote in very small percentages. Why? I don't know. Maybe they're disappointed in things that are happening. But for a long time, I say, you don't vote. I'm saying, go out. You must vote. November 5th is going to be the most important election in the history of our country. Whether you vote early or not, we should have, by the way, one-day voting. We should have voter ID. We should have proof of citizenship. And we should have paper ballots, okay? That's what we should have. But we don't have that. But I said to the Christians in the room, thousands of them, I said, typically Christians do not vote. Why it is, I don't know. You're rebellious. Something's going on. Don't worry about the future. You have to vote on November 5th. After that, you don't have to worry about voting anymore. I don't care, because we're going to fix it. The country will be fixed, and we won't even need your vote anymore, because frankly, we will have such love. If you don't want to vote anymore, that's okay. And I think everybody understood it. I didn't know there was any.
Yeah, well, I mean, because it.
All right. You heard all of that damn mental gymnastics, girl. All of that karate that Trump ass was doing, baby, that was damn verbal karate, girl. Okay? The way that Trump was on his damn scooter, bitch, pushing through the damn aisles of Walmart in that conversation, girl, just snatching everything off the shelf, trying to make it make sense. Girl, done called the Christians rebellious, girl. Let me tell you what the statement really is about. First and foremost, it's literally unconstitutional. There is no way for Trump to undo the election concept, okay? His big back ass will only be serving 8 years total on period. The only person who could serve more than one term technically, who could serve about 16 years consecutively, would be a VP. For instance, Kamala Harris. Had Biden also ran the second time and won, she would have did that. But then she also can also run as president. So that gives her a total of, 16 years. But you can't undo it. It was never going to be undone. The reality is that it puts J.D. Vance's leaked statements into even bigger context for us, because what Trump really was saying to Christians is that I don't really care nothing about democracy or the future of this country or what even comes after me, bitch. I don't care whether America makes it or not. I don't give a damn if the American people are happy and healthy and flourishing or not. I just need all of y'all to come out of the back caves, come out of the back alleys, come out of the damn mountains, bitch, come out of every nook and crevice of the country to just get my ass in this motherfucker for the next 4 years. I'm not trying to be somebody's big back bottom in Rikers Island watching some niggas' draws that got a bigger waist than mine. But the crimes these people done found me guilty of, if you vote this time around, baby, I don't give a damn if you ever vote again. The only person that is important for y'all to vote for and be in first time voters too is me. And honestly, I'm cringing for Trump because the statement is littered with such desperation. This man is so deeply desperate. He is scared. He know he ain't got allies in all the right places. He knows that the judges and the people who are trying to charge his ass and put his ass away are in fact really about that life. And he is fighting for his goddamn life. So that rally where he was telling Christians, you're never going to have to vote again. What he meant for is me, bitch. Because I'm already 78. I'll be Joe Biden's age by the time I'm done. I'll have immunity. I can put this criminality behind me. I can allow all my KKK members to come in and organize to do what they do. And then I'll probably be dead and gone and busting hell wide open any damn way. I'll probably be just as dementia-filled as Joe is by the time I come out of goddamn office. I'll probably be so damn senile. My health will probably be so fucking bad. This ear will probably be done swell the fuck up and fell the fuck off to the point that it won't even matter if they put my ass in prison afterwards, bitch. I'll probably be legally blind by the time they do so. So just do me this big one, baby. And vote me into office. Okay? Make Trump great again, bitch. Okay? So that was a desperate field statement that just showed how desperate the poor man is. That's further compounded by this leaked audio. I couldn't even find the audio anymore. Like, it just disappeared. I think Trump is also having, like, the right is having the internet scrub the shit, bitch. But audio leaked. I want you guys to hear it. But courtesy of the Hill, of his VP. Okay, I think it was a journalist who leaked the audio. Apparently, this was J.D. Vance at some type of a fundraiser, And the journalist was doing what journalists doing, girl, putting that degree in nosology to good use and had the tape recorder recording. Vance says that Harris switch was a political sucker punch. Senator J.D. Vance, the Republican vice presidential nominee, privately told donors that the emergence of Vice President Harris's campaign was a political sucker punch, breaking from former president's previous messaging. Quote, all of us were hit with a little bit of a political sucker punch, Vance said Saturday about President Biden suspending his campaign, the Washington Post first reported. Quote, the bad news is that Kamala Harris does not have the same baggage as Joe Biden. Because whatever we might have to say, Kamala is a lot younger, Vance said at the Golden Valley, Minnesota fundraiser. And Kamala Harris is obviously not struggling in the same ways that Joe Biden did. Since Joe, okay, I actually want to stop right there. Because no, as we keep reading, since Biden dropped out and endorsed Harris, Democrats have thrown their support behind the vice president's campaign. She's broken donation records and secured enough delegates to clinch the Democratic Party's nomination at next month's convention. Publicly, the Trump campaign has said that Harris replacing Biden has not changed the race. Trump allies have targeted Harris's role in the Biden administration, particularly on immigration and inflation, and suggested that she mislead the public about Biden's fitness. After Biden dropped out, Vance joked that he was kind of pissed off that he won't be able to debate Harris's vice presidential candidates now that she's poised to take on Trump. He's also warned voters that Harris was a million times worse than Biden. So going back to these statements, girl, remember when I told y'all in not the last live, but an earlier live this week, that Trump, because Trump is a one-trick pony and he's not actually a politician and he actually give a damn, he's a personality that is just trying to get his narcissistic rocks off by claiming the number one spot there is to claim. Because that's who he is, his fighting strategy, it failed him, which is why the right is getting their asses kicked right now by the left, because Trump's whole attitude was to drag Biden. That's what the right had their strategy, all their eggs in one basket is. We're just going to drag Biden, the person, the man, the president, etc. They're failing now to talk policy. They're failing now to really speak against Kamala because they had bet their entire move toward the presidency on just keeping their foot on Joe and emphasizing how he's sickly, he's incompetent, he's elderly, he can't do the job, while Trump ultimately sat back with his feet up and kind of let Joe sabotage his own self because his health would bring his whole competency into question any damn way. But now that Kamala's here and Trump isn't actually a politician, that's why he can't debate her. He can't out-policy her. He can't out-intellectualize her. He could only do that with Hillary because Hillary has a scummy track record herself. You know, she was also found guilty of shit. You know, distrust in Hillary was brought when she destroyed 300,000 something fucking emails, had a private server, etc. So her reputation was soiled. Her husband's reputation wasn't that much fucking better. He was a cheater. He had a Monica Lewinsky. He's on the flight logs of Jeffrey Epstein. He done been accused of all type of statutory shit. So it was easy to rip Clinton down, and it was easy for his ass to also just tear Biden because Biden was already had 1.5 foot in the damn grave, honey. But as his VP has said, Kamala is a political sucker punch. This is the reality. This is why Trump is running around begging Christians to vote for him. Please vote for him. He's whistleblowing to the homophobes and the transphobes. There's only 2 genders. You know, he's putting out all the stops, girl. Okay, all the non-progressives, all the people who are still living in Milton's heyday, girl. You know, he wants all those folk. And he's begging for their votes, essentially. Vance is shook. Trump is shook. Project 2025 is falling apart. The head and director of Project 2025 then stepped the fuck down, girl. Paris is burning. Okay? Paris is fucking burning. The left is whooping motherfucking ass. And shout out to Obama and Michelle because they foot on Joe's decrepit ass neck. And who would have ever thunk it? Who would have ever thunk that Joe sitting down was really honestly the best thing for the presidency? And who would have ever thunk it that Kamala would have been so well received? But it's ironic how Trump's words have come back to bite him in his own ass, because he told Joe during the debate that, hey, I wouldn't even be here if you were half the president and half the leader you were supposed to be. Interesting statement, because that's literally manifested as it relates to him and this incredible support for Kamala. That support is off the tail end of people finding Trump to be absolutely an incompetent, terrible fucking option for the second time around. There would be no support for Kamala if it wasn't for just how bad Trump is at all of this. And now, of course, you don't want to debate her because, hell, that is the last L he will need, especially this close to the final send-off. He doesn't need Kamala embarrassing his ass, which is why Kamala gonna have to keep it real clean, baby. Okay, because it's a lot on the line right now, and all they need is one major slip up, and they're gonna be dog piling it on. So Trump got to stay clear of Kamala. He got to stay clear of that motherfucking debate. J.D. Vance in this leaked audio has proven that the right is shook. They do find Kamala to be a threat. She was the best kept secret of the left that nobody knew about, girl, until she had to enter the group chat. Now she done set the fucking house on fire, bitch. And the right is running around like the Titanic, you know, after hitting the fucking iceberg, girl. They're in a state of crisis and emergency right now. Now let's move forward. Because while Trump is losing his mind and J.D. Vance is out here telling the whole truth, girl, that Kamala is stuff in the yard and turning them every which way but loose, girl, Elon Musk is over there losing his goddamn AA batteries, girl, because y'all know that I believe that Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook and Elon Musk, I believe both of their asses are AI. I believe both of their asses are made of damn aluminum foil and titanium, girl. I believe both of their asses, girl, have USB ports on their backs, girl, and that they plug themselves up into walls at night, honey. Nobody can convince me, girl, that either one of these men are actually human, girl. I believe that they are a robotic ass scientific intellectual property and creation, girl, of the shadow government, baby. Both of them give me very much so AITs, girl. They probably print paperwork through their ass cheeks and shit, girl. Like, I want to see both Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk naked, baby, because I know it's giving robotic parts. I know it. Okay? Well, he's over there as if they all didn't get called into question, girl, for manipulating voting perception, as if they didn't get called into question by Congress, girl, for using these platforms to sway voting, to sway people's perception of candidates, girl. Elon Musk just couldn't help it, girl. You guys know the group Dudes for Harris, white Dudes for Harris, that is. They initially had raised like 1-point-something million bucks for Harris. It's now at 3.6 million. You guys know that black men raised 1.3 and counting. The overall country raised 81 plus million for Harris. White women came through and raised millions and broke Zoom records, girl. I think they had the largest Zoom ever in Zoom history, girl. Like 100 plus thousand white women came out to back Harris, girl. LGBTQ plus showing their asses, girl. Well, white men came through, broke records, put in their millions behind Kamala, and Elon Musk and his artificial synthetic ass brain, girl, could not take it and apparently clipped the White Dudes for Harris's Twitter account. All right, courtesy of the bitch gossip, Mike Nellis, the leader of popular Twitter page Dudes for Harris, slams Elon Musk and Donald Trump for banning his page after he raised $4 million for Kamala Harris. Okay, listen to the founder of White Dudes for Harris. Oh, let me switch over my microphone. Hold on.
I can't believe this. Like I'm like too amped up to go to bed right now. I'm so absolutely pissed and livid about Elon Musk and Donald Trump Jr. getting our accounts suspended after we raised $4 million for Kamala Harris. So I just have like a couple of thoughts to add here. Is like the first is, are we the first white dudes to ever get suspended or punished on Twitter by Elon Musk? Because I have seen some of the most racist, sexist, homophobic, anti-Semitic comments just all over Twitter, and Elon Musk has done nothing. So we get suspended. We put an amazing Zoom call together. We bring together elected officials, leaders, activists, celebrities, actors, musicians, all together to have a beautiful conversation about what it means to be a white man in America and how we all need to speak up and have a responsibility to talk about our values and how we need to create a permission structure for white dudes in this country to get behind Kamala Harris. And what do these guys do? They shut us down. And if they think this is going to make us more quiet, they are wrong. They are wrong. We're not going to stop. We're not going to stop organizing. There's going to be more to come tomorrow. There's going to be more opportunities to get involved with the campaign. There's going to be more opportunities to raise money for the Harris campaign. We are going to win this election. They are running scared. And I literally can't get over this. This is unbelievable. And I'm fired up. Like I just posted a meme. You ever seen like that meme from Community where she's like, I can excuse racism, but I draw the line in animal cruelty? Well, Elon Musk was somewhere on Twitter going, I can excuse racism, but I can't excuse, white men coming together to support a candidate like Kamala Harris. And like, that is just, just unfucking believable. So if you really want to piss off Elon Musk, you can share this TikTok, which I would appreciate. But more importantly, you can go to whitedudesforharris.com, a link that continues to work. Make a donation. Help us support the campaign. Let's send a message that we're not backing down. whitedudesforharris.com. Thank you again for everything.
Boom, baby. Clip clocked, honey. Shook it, girl. Shook it, honey. I'm going to call it the Great White Divide has finally come, baby. The Great Reset, girl. And of course, all this would happen during the age of Aquarius. This is the age known for the demolition, the reconstruction of humanity, of reality, etc., girl. I am so here for it. I expect nothing less from the MAGA in all forms, shape, and sizes, girl. Once again, these people are going to I told you, they're going to pull out all the stops, which is why I hope that current VP, soon to be President Kamala Harris, has stepped up her security detail, because let me tell all of y'all, hold on, let me switch. I want y'all to hear this, girl. All of y'all who plan on being outside election night, all of y'all who plan on going downtown and galvanizing to the events and the election events this year, girl, to be honest, I don't think that's the safest thing to do. Not with this election, girl. This election is bringing out something close to the damn purge. We already have had a attempted assassination attempt on Trump. If MAGA does not get access to the White House, with them knowing what's going to happen to their leader as a result, with them being under the delusional impression that the election was stolen once again, and this is Trump's last time being able to run, they're going to make sure that the world feels their fury. I do not think it's going to be safe for y'all to be in very public events. If y'all want to have your own little like personal shindigs and your own little election party nights at y'all home in a very controlled setting amongst people y'all love and trust, do that. But I do not think it's going to be a great idea for you guys to be at these events that are for the public, because I believe, baby, that MAGA going to be on a rooftop just like Thomas Crooks Matthews, bitch. I believe that the Proud Boys are going to be all up in the mix, baby. And I think that election night, if Trump don't win, it's going to look something like the 4th of July in the streets. I think MAGA is going to lose their fucking minds. And they're not going to take this L in stride. They already have not. So I want y'all to just be very careful. Very careful on election night. Even if you team Trump, be careful, girl, because if they clip their own. Y'all already see Thomas Matthews. Crooks was a registered Republican, bitch. Okay? So they clip their own, girl. They eat their own. Okay? They'll never be able to live down the shame and the embarrassment of losing to Kamala Harris, a multiracial woman, a woman of color, a woman at that, a woman who they said didn't have it. She ain't have the it factor. She ain't popular enough. You know, they was expecting any other Democratic nominee but Kamala Harris. They're not going to take their world star hip-hop ass whipping in stride. It's going to be hell to pay. So be careful on election night. All right. But shout out to White Dudes for Harris, girl. Like they said, girl, we like the Underground Railroad, bitch. Okay, you can't stop us, girl. we taking the slaves to freedom, girl. Okay, we're going to the north, honey. Okay, with or without, honey. Okay, even if we got to seize the north by way of violence, bitch, we're coming, girl. Okay, so just shout out to Trump. Trump is so funny how the universe is using Trump. Trump's whole mantra was make America great again. And of course, there was like elitism and sexism and xenophobia and all that shit and homophobia wrapped up in make America great again. It's ironic that the universe is actually using him to actually make America great again. This has been single-handedly one of the only events the past 10 years that has brought the country almost back collectively. MAGA is actually a very small base. Something that has brought the gays, the blacks, the whites, them brought all the colors of the rainbow together, girl. This is historic. And Trump's evil and his bullshit and MAGA's bullshit and the extreme right's bullshit, it was necessary for all of what's happening now to happen. So thank you, Trump, for actually contributing to making America potentially great again, girl, because you're actually bringing the country together in your attempt to divide us based upon classism, based upon orientation, based upon race, based upon gender, based upon sex, based upon religion, girl. You're actually single-handedly bringing the country together inadvertently. You're even having to beg some of the most judgmental people in the country, such as those conservative ass Christians, to cast their vote for you because even they ain't fucking with you. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right. Let's move it along because my boy, Stephen Black, he sent me some stuff. And I saw this on his page. Of course, he is Team Kamala Harris. If you are in the chat, Stephen, what's going on, bro? Vice President Harris discussed maternal health issues. Let's check her out. Talking to who is this? Not Dr. Simone, not Dr. Heavenly. This is Dr. I forgot her name, from Merit to Medicine. But let's check him out.
I'm so excited to sit before you, but I'm so grateful that you're dealing with something that is just, you know, our moms, and we want somebody to hear us. And thank you for hearing us.
Thank you for doing what you're doing, and I appreciate it.
You know, it's a time to celebrate mothers for the care that they give. And I think this conversation is also about the responsibility we have to care for our mothers.
So listen, what I want the world to know, and I'm saying it loud, is we are in an intense time of difficulties and trouble and danger when it comes to maternity mortality. It certainly shouldn't be that way. And what I really want us to do is just make sure we are talking about it.
I mean, the idea that in one of the wealthiest countries in the world, the United States of America, we have the highest rates of maternal mortality, that Black women in our country and in this era are 3 times more likely to die in connection with childbirth. I think it's inexcusable. As a physician, I know you teach your patients and others about their rights. Can you talk a little bit about that?
As an OBGYN, as the health provider for women, my biggest teachable moment to a patient is make sure you feel comfortable with the doctor enough to ask questions. I want you to challenge me. Why, when, what, where? So definitely ask questions and see a doctor who makes you feel safe and supported.
We have been fighting for states to expand Medicaid coverage. 32 states have signed on. We need all the states to sign on, and we need to let moms know that they're actually entitled to Medicaid coverage for up to 12 months of postpartum care. And that's one of the things that we need to get the word out. We also set up a hotline for mothers to have support in terms of emotional and mental health. So I'll give you that number, and let's make sure we get that out also. It's 1-833-TLC-MAMA.
And I'm going to be posting it and shouting it to the hills. So that moms know that we support them, that we want to make this better.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and to you, Dr. Jackie, because our mothers come in every form. And I think it really is truly about the calling to care for people and to let them know and remind them they are loved and they're not alone. Let us all work together. And I know we will make a difference. Thank you.
And whatever you need me to do, I'm here. And thank you, and have an amazing day.
I'll see you later.
All right.
Thank you for
so
taking
that was Vice President on her reproductive tip, as she's been all VP long. And now, last but not least, we're going to move right on over to the campaign. But before we do that, it's something I want to read. Courtesy of the Neighborhood Talk. They posted this. I didn't have it pulled up on the screen, but I'm gonna read it here. And it is a list of all the things that Kamala Harris has attempted to bring into office. Okay, a user by the name of Yuchi on Twitter said that adding that it's important to note that these are mostly introduced with a few passing, but that's for the folks who say that she's done nothing or isn't doing anything. She and her staff did work and brought it forward through a process in a broken Congress. None of the above are messaging bills, which means that her and her staff rolled their sleeves up and worked rather than just getting on some IG Live and ranting weirdo stuff above. All right. So some of the things that Kamala Harris and her team put forth as legislation and initiatives is the C-19 Bias and Anti-Racism Training Act of 2020, the Fair and Accurate Census Act, the C-19 Racial and Ethnic Disparities Task Force Act of 2020, the Black Maternal Health Monobus Act of 2020, a resolution condemning Stephen Miller for trafficking and bigotry, hatred, and divisive political rhetoric and for promoting policies that are inconsistent with the trust and confidence placed in him as a senior advisor to the president. A resolution recognizing the importance of the Civil Rights Act of 1866 and the laws derived from the Civil Rights Act of 1866. The Ending Homelessness Act of 2019. The Family Friendly Schools Act of 2019. A bill to clarify the rights of all persons who are held or detained at a port of entry or any detention facility overseas by U.S. Customs and Border Protection or U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement of 2019. Fair Chance at Housing Act of 2019. Maternal Care Act of 2019. 21st Century STEM for Underrepresented Minorities Act, okay? Something that Trump is trying to get rid of. A resolution condemning hate crime and any other form of racism, religion, or ethnic bias, discrimination, incitement to violence, or animus targeting of minorities in the United States. A bill to reauthorize the historically Black colleges and universities historic preservation program. A resolution honoring the accomplishments of the 19 historically Black colleges and universities that celebrated their I can't even pronounce that word, anniversaries during the week of September 24th through September 30th. A resolution recognizing Black Maternal Health Week to bring national attention to the maternal health care crisis in the Black community and the importance of reducing the rate of maternal mortality and morbidity amongst Black women of 2018. All right. And that wasn't even an exhaustive list. All right. So Miss Kamala being, okay, fighting for the people, presenting policies and legislations, programs, and acts having directly to do with Black and brown people, HBCUs, Black women, Black minorities, for all the people who's like, she ain't Black, she ain't Black, she ain't Black. These things are from 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, long before she had a national stage. So, yeah. Now, I want to get into just a mini review of Kamala's campaign event in Atlanta, which was basically a whole damn cookout, girl. It was the Black cookout. It was the Black cookout, child. Quavo spoke. MeganTheeStallion performed. I want to show you guys just a little bit. Just a little bit.
At the Harris for President campaign rally at Atlanta. On my outfit, house sex quick, cause I ain't thirsty. These dudes mad, they wanna hurt me. I'm a hot girl, hot too hot. Spit shit come on my outfit, house sex quick, cause I ain't thirsty. These dudes mad, they wanna hurt me. Hot too hot. Let me see your hands, Atlanta.
오늘 왔어. Stop. Kira.
He know who I am, ain't had to say my name. Stack it up like Tetris, but this money ain't a game. Wasashi kawaii, eat halata. Drinking out the bottle, getting twisted, Mary Sean. Big exotic herb, man, this a crop. Watch. It's a movie, I'm on that bro, we gotta keep it only me. I be the block and eyes hot. I'm too cheap, and I'm moving.
I'm a savage, yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet. Sassy, moody, nasty, yeah. Acting stupid, what's happening? What's happening? I'm a savage, yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet, yeah. Sassy, moody, nasty, yeah. Hacking, stupid, what's happening? What's happening? Like Beyonce, like me, like me.
All right, so that was Megan, girl. First thing I want to say is at first I wasn't sure about Megan's performance. I was like, something about Megan performing. I don't know how to say this. Maybe I should just say it. Just say it. Don't try to say it. Just say it, child. Kamala definitely has obviously always, she's always embraced being a person of color. And that's been a part of her, upbringing and the culture of America and the space that, her color got her in. But I don't know, like, Megan was, I think, a little bit too raunchy of a choice. Like, I'm here for the raunchiness, but it almost felt like it was like inviting Megan to perform at church, girl, like Sunday service. I was like, and Megan felt, having Megan, it felt a little bit pandery. It was like too obvious. It was like a little bit like too like it was like it was like too performative of blackness on Kamala's part. I actually would like to see her actually be a multiracial woman. I actually don't think she should completely lean into one thing. Like, the reality is you are a multiracial woman. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm okay with her being a multiracial woman. I don't need her to be black like this, girl. Like, I'm okay with her not being that. So there was something it was kind of cringy. I was like, oh, and the crowd didn't make it no better because they were kind of like, let me tell you my favorite part of the performance. Let me blow it up. Let me show y'all. I forgot. Let me see. It was one part that had me gagging. Let me see, so. Let me see if I can find it. Her. She, like, I was fucking hollering at this black woman in the white tee and the black skirt. The crowd was so dead, honey, but she was getting her whole life. Let me see if I can go back to it. Where's she at? Here we go. Her ass right there. That's my ass in the crowd, girl. But it was kind of cringy. Yeah, it was kind of cringy. But then I don't really know how to feel about my assessment, because when I watched the RNC, Trump had all that old ass country western ass music playing, girl. I'm just like, okay. I mean, I guess if y'all can do that, then we can do this. Just shake our ass on down to the White House, child. I mean, the RNC had them pull out the damn banjos and shit, child. So, I mean, they was giving, raisins in the potato salad, girl. Okay, Kamala took it straight soul food, bitch. So I mean, it is what it is. I ain't mad at it, but I was just like, yeah, this is interesting. Quavo spoke, so let's hear from Quavo a little bit.
has always been home to me from playing in the streets and, nurturing me and teaching me how to be the man I am standing before you. So, one of these issues that I care about is resolving the gun violence issue. And you can't understand the struggles of gun violence if you're not in the field or in the heart of it. So one thing I learned about working with Vice President Harris is she always stand on business. From inviting me, what's up, Mama? From inviting me to the White House last year to discuss these solutions to passing the biggest gun safety laws today. So it's only right in the birthplace of the culture. It's also the same place to launch the first African-American woman to run for president.
I think with Kamala, it still could have gave Atlanta, but Kamala gives me more singer. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't get hip hop vibes. That's why it was like, okay, I can. She could have had a lit R&B singer there, something like that. If I was her ass girl, I would have brought up the Boys to Men, New Jack City, bitch. What like having a rapper, it was given. It's like Kamala.
So if you never voted before, make sure you get out and vote right now because it's the real one. And in the words of my brother Takeoff, let me get him. Kamala. I'm gonna hand it over to Tyler Green. Let him talk about his vote and introduce the next president of the United States of America. Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Green coming through, chat.
So much to me to see a vice president leading with the same values of excellence, leadership, and service that our institutions instilled in us. Vice President Harris has spent every day of her career fighting for working people just like me. From her service as a district attorney.
The thing about Quavo speaking on gun violence is that, like, it was really hard to take Quavo seriously, considered that after what happened to Takeoff, Quavo continued to make music about using GUNs and pow niggas. So it was just like, this could have been better vetted. Somebody mentioned Killer Mike. I think a Killer Mike would be appropriate. J. Cole speaking. Somebody more on the conscious side if she was gonna go the rap side, but like I couldn't really take Quavo seriously about gun violence, my nigga. Like, he went on to make GUN music since Offset, so.
In general, and the United States the Senate. Not yet. To her leadership as vice president, she has served and spent every day of her career serving and fighting for us, the people. To name just a few of these accomplishments, she's fought for historic investments into HBCUs. She's fought for student debt relief. She's fought for reproductive freedom. She's fought for entrepreneurs and climate leaders like me. And I know that when Georgia sends her to the White House again.
All right, so let's move it to Miss Kamala.
Georgia, America has tried these failed policies before, and we are not going back. We're not going back. future. And it is a fight for freedom. Across our nation, we are witnessing a full-on assault on hard-fought, hard-won freedoms and rights. The freedom to vote, the freedom to be safe from gun violence, the freedom to live without fear of bigotry and hate, the freedom to love who you love openly and with pride. The freedom to learn and acknowledge our true and full history. And the freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do. Ours is a fight for the future and for freedom. And I don't have to tell folks in Atlanta that generations of Americans before us led the fight for freedom. And now, the baton is in our hands. Each and every one of us. And we love our country. We love our country. And I believe it is the highest form of patriotism to fight for the ideals of our country. And so, we who believe in the sacred freedom to vote will finally pass the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Amendment. We who believe in the freedom to live safe from gun violence will finally pass universal background checks, red flag laws, and an assault weapons ban. We who believe in reproductive freedom will stop Donald Trump's extreme abortion bans, and when Congress passes a law to restore reproductive freedoms, as President of the United States, I will sign it into law. So November 5th is in 98 days. In 98 days, and let's level set. Friends, let's level set. We have a fight in front of us. We have a fight in front of us, and we are the underdogs in this race. We are. But you see, this is a people-powered campaign. Ours is a people-powered campaign. In fact, after I announced my candidacy, we saw the best week of grassroots fundraising in presidential campaign history. And if you go to KamalaHarris.com, you can help us build on that success. So the momentum in this race is shifting. And there are signs that Donald Trump is feeling it.
We showed all of them today.
You may have noticed. So last week, you may have seen, he pulled out of the debate in September he had previously agreed to. So here's the thing. Here's the funny thing about that. So he won't debate, but he and his running mate sure seem to have a lot to say about me. And by the way, don't you find some of their stuff to just be plain weird? Well, Donald, Because as the saying goes, if you got something to say, say it to my face. So, Georgia, in the next 98 days, we have our work cut out for us. And this is not going to be easy. This is hard work, but we like hard work. Hard work is good work. So, Georgia, today I ask you, are you ready to get to work? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win. God bless you. God bless the United States.
Yeah. Where are you? I might change about myself. Yeah, cause baby, them Beyonce songs to get your ass clipped. So once I had saw Kamala's whole speech, I was like, oh, this was lit. Like, it made the MeganTheeStallion performance fit. It separated from the speech, cringy. But once I saw the whole package and everything came to come out, I was like, oh yeah, like this was given. This was given, honey. This was definitely given those classic HBCU, like, home game vibes, honey. Like, it was given all of that. Like, I was here for it. Kamala's speech was compelling. It was articulate. I think it was so perfectly tailored. You know, she was able to boss up on Trump, call him and his VP directly out, while also balancing that out with talking about policy and her plans for the country. She was so smooth with it too. Like, she looked so comfortable. She looked in her element. Like, it was job well done. Job well done. Like, Atlanta, well done. I wonder where all the people at who was just saying the other day, oh, she only had 68 people at her rally the other day. Well, she turned Atlanta's arena the fuck out, baby. Okay? CIA and Secret Service every damn where. This is a amazing time to be alive. Like, for once, I feel like I'm enjoying waking up, okay? Like, it's just wild to me how this whole presidency thing has created a whole new quality of air. And I'm just loving it. I'm loving it. And the biggest thing that I'm loving is just how this thing is really bringing people together. How so much of the country is coming together. Who believe that women should have bodily autonomy. Even for those who don't want to see women get abortions and don't want there to be abortions, are like, nonetheless, women should have the right to make those decisions. Seeing so much of the country come together on LGBT protection, on prison reform, on the reform of the criminal justice system. I mean, it's really dope to know that our country isn't a bag of bumbling, dense fools. I think it's going to be a tight race. I'm concerned about what's going to come in the next few months. Once again, like, it seemed like everything is so escalated. It's like something that's happening every day. I know the Trump administration is going to be working overtime I think this is going to be a very nerve-wracking election. It's going to be so nerve-wracking. I think we do need to be talking about what we need to do if Trump in fact gets it. I don't think we should put all our eggs in one basket. I think we need to prepare for the alternative. We need to be preparing for what it's going to mean for Project 2025 to be in the building. So I think we can't get comfortable celebrating right now. We need to be prepped. Oh, I'm definitely doing a watch party. Definitely doing a watch party because I would not be outside for election night at all. Thank you, Sharon. You're glowing, Conscious. Thank you. I'm in a great place. This presidency, like, was the perfect, like, everything that this presidency is doing to the collective. I needed to see this. You know, living in this social media space and just, it's always one group against another. It's just nothing. It's just been so dense. It's been so dense. So I'm on the other side of the personal work I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of shadow work this year. That finally came to a nice head. I've been in a good spirit, and then boom, like seeing the country come together, seeing black and white folk come together, seeing Hispanic people come together. Hispanic folk showed the fuck out. As well, girl, the Latina showed out for Kamala. It's like everybody is in formation right now. It's really inspiring. It's encouraging, and I'm going to exhale. I'm going to take all this in. I'm going to breathe it all in. We haven't gotten a lot of opportunities to even have just a moment of this, and I'm definitely going to soak it all in, baby. Just in case we don't get another one of these, you know, no time soon, girl, and in case it's upside down tomorrow. But right now, it feels really good, and I'm just going to let the wind be in my hair. And we're making history again, baby. I can only imagine how our grandparents feel. They never thought they would live to see half of this stuff. A black family in the White House, a black man in the White House, multiracial woman of color for VP, might be president, queer people in media, on TV, same gender loving, marriage. I mean, they probably just, our grandparents are shook right now. They are fucking shooketh, girl. Like, they probably asking, girl, you know, have they already crossed over, girl? Are they already, you know, in the afterlife? If this is, it's just the afterlife of the life. It's amazing. Once again, Kamala can't do it on her own. So I hope that, you know, we continue to use her administration and use her openness to listen, her openness to have the conversation, her openness to be available and tangible to the community as a way to make her a collaborator in things that are important to us as Black folk. And I'm happy to have somebody who's coming into office who's been doing this type of work. She's been trying to reform the criminal justice system. She been team LGBT. She been team woman. She been team Black men. She believes, you know, in second chances and people who do wrong having a shot. And I think that this is a perfect candidate for a lot of abolitionists to get next to, because Kamala has been like, she's had like one foot into that progressive door. I think that there's a lot of opportunity for change. And I know that we need to just continue to just work to make our world a better place and to get our local officials information, to get our grassroots, get more accommodated and collaborative with our grassroots. And I just think that, you know, we have a world of work to do, but seeing so many of us do the work, man, I just hope that everybody takes advantage of this. I hope that this is an opportunity now that everybody is kind of on the same page. Like, we need to be talking to each other. Black and white folk need to be coming together at this point in time. I think we need to be straightening everything out. This could be a major opportunity for healing. This is what the Age of Aquarius is literally all about. It's about drudging up all the old bones. It's about doing the work. It's about revisiting the crime scene. It's about making wrongs right. It's about reform. So it's just interesting to live all of this astrological celestial shit. It's just interesting to see the age be every bit of what it's defined as on paper. My mom was so happy about Obama. Wish she was here to see a woman VP. She's seen it through you, Teresa. Kamala is the finger red #1. She has so much experience in both state and federal issues, grassroots to Congress. She's done it and seen it. Yeah. So I got to get out of here. We've been back to back to back. I might be coming back, girl, because did y'all see? Let me pull this shit up, girl. Did y'all see this shit here? Did y'all see this mother, baby? I was gawking. Girl, when I tell you I was gawking, I was gawking. I was gawking. This color, all this color is very complimentary. Like the hair in the background is all given cosmic and celestial. I love it. Did y'all see this shit here, girl? Because we definitely, like, I want to get into this. Grill, the U.S. Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheeto, or whatever the fuck her name is, testified before the House of Representatives Oversight Committee, girl. They were tearing her ass up. This the poor lady, girl, who called herself trying to protect Donald, girl. And then the other director of Secret Service, girl, Ronald Rowe, girl, told his ass up, baby. I think she done resigned now, girl. She done put in her resignation. Him, girl, it was a shit show. When I tell you these people were on their ass, baby, it was on their ass. And I think for the people who believe that this was a setup from the gate, you probably did. This is probably the thing that puts a period on the end of those conspiracy theories, girl, because it's given every bit of this was the inside job. It's given every bit of it, girl. So we're going to come back and review this. I'm interested to hear what y'all thoughts are. If you guys didn't get an opportunity to catch the last live, please do so. We got into Kamala's past with truancy and her DA, all the stuff that keeps coming up. We got into Sean Grayson, the Illinois cop who unalived Sonia Massey after she rebuked him in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. And tell me what you guys think. My replay gang, love you long time. You guys enjoyed yourself and appreciated the work of the Kane girl for these past 3 hours. Definitely hit that old nasty piece of Cash App and PayPal, girl. All donation information is in the description box below. And I'm feeling you 100% on all of this on period, sister. And I'll see you guys later. I might see y'all in a few. So just, stay notified. Keep the notifications set and all of that kind of stuff, girl. We're going to be keeping up with everything going on with the things, honey. All right? Bye.